Lionel, is that you?
There, I think I got it.
Put your mic on a stack of books.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's actually not a bad idea. Maybe that.
No, him.
What if I had already pushed the button? I thought he'd gone down to the green room.
Well, he's off doing something else now.
Yeah, then Linda
Stacking
pipes up.
books up, I think.
Then Linda pipes up. Stack up your butt.
Super pro
full
here.
house tonight.
Super pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Boys
a
and
full-
girls,
It would be
put
like
your seatbelts on.
Yeah, so that I don't have to do anything. Right, Derek?
Finally, we've been trying to podcast without you for years. We're so close tonight. We're so close.
I thought you and David did a podcast. You and David Lunn.
No, we didn't record it.
Why not?
Well, because if I had, it would have just been further evidence of me sending him 3 boxcars and not 2 boxcars. I don't want any more evidence of that. I don't want to talk about Delaware Lackawanna boxcars ever again with you guys.
Oh, you know what I was thinking? Why don't you show me, or send me the type, and I'll just order 2 from White Rose Hobbies, and we'll call it a day.
Oh, it's a great idea.
You could get a really good deal on them there.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've tried to get good deals before, and it's not working. Probably because they're already paying us sums of money every month just to be on the podcast.
Well, they have everyday low prices, so they won't cut you a better deal. That's the problem.
WhiteRoseHobbies.com.
Yeah, 4401 West Market Street.
There,
down.
York.
Go ahead.
they're right there in downtown York, Pennsylvania. Technically, they're on the west side of York, Pennsylvania, but we like to say downtown.
Hey,
down
our
the
best
street
ad read
from-
for them ever.
Yeah.
The Dairy Queen.
No, the Ben
no.
Franklin RV Park.
Yeah, apparently Linda never listens to their podcast.
I didn't say that.
No, that was
G4.
I was shouting down the hallway from the green room.
Oh, man.
Oh, brother.
We knew this was going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna be a challenge.
This is going to be like herding cats.
You know what?
No,
I just want
that's easy.
to, before we get any deeper, we're 2 minutes and 20, 30 seconds in already. But before we go any deeper, I just want to say 4 words. And they're not necessarily directed at anybody in particular. Is it okay if I say these 4 words?
Sure.
Sure.
Way to go, Derek.
Hey, Lionel, this is an early birthday gift for you.
Oh, is it? Well, it's too bad.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, it's too bad because my birthday was like 2 weeks ago. Nice, really nice. Sending me something like 2 weeks later. Nice touch.
Well, you know, always a day late and a dollar short.
Yeah,
The shipping from Mexico takes a little longer.
What's Mexico got to do with anything?
I don't know. What do you think Derek for?
It's what our guest is, where our guest is coming from.
Right. That's what I meant.
Oh, is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Hey,
Didn't land well though.
I hope no one's paying for this.
well, yeah, you gotta kind of. You got to connect the dots, Daniel. When you're making those humorous comments, you got to connect the dots. Speaking of dots, Daniel, guess what? I think what we need.
What do we need, Lionel?
I think we need a Google Calendar. Because
You need an invite?
no, because I got to keep some way of keeping track of who we're interviewing when. So you need a Google Calendar. Can we have a Google Calendar that several people have access to? Is that how they work?
Yeah, you can do that.
Is that the basic idea?
Kind of. It's a slippery slope, though. The next thing you know, you're going to get an invite.
Calendar invite. Yep.
I mean, you can guarantee it just because I'll send one just for the heck of
Yeah,
it.
me too.
So, yeah, I might get an invite. So tonight we're going to interview John Gardiner.
Can we preface it with we're going to attempt?
Yeah.
Tonight, we're going to talk to G4.
A.k.a.
There you go.
A.k.a. Notch 11.
Yeah.
Now,
wind him up,
Dr.
wind him up and watch him go.
Notch 11.
Sorry, Dr. Notch 11.
He
That's
keeps
right.
Yeah.
breaking, and G4
Yeah, he
keeps breaking into the studio there.
Yeah, he's like a little elf running around, darting in and out of the studio.
He's on the intercom.
Right?
Well, Derek, can I ask a question?
Of course you can. It's a podcast.
If we were going to talk to G4, wouldn't that mean he would be listening to what we have to say?
We're going to talk with G4.
Yeah, I don't think we were. Yeah.
There will be a conversation with G4, an evening with G4. How about that?
Yeah, we don't. How many minutes do we give him at a stretch? I say
Well,
3.
60, 75?
No,
Less.
I say 3. He gets
All right.
3 minutes. He gets 3 minutes, and then he has to stop so that we can ask questions.
Yeah. See how that works out.
Yeah.
So does Marcus have a stopwatch?
I don't need to find a little bell to ring so we can
Yeah,
say,
there we go.
your
Yeah.
time is up, G4. Next question.
I think a cane would be better.
Oh,
Linda's got the clock going right now.
Yeah, why don't we just start, because he's been. We'll talk about White Rose Nurseries. Haven't heard that for a while. White Rose
Nurseries.
Hobbies.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
.com, right there at 4401 West Market Street in York, Pennsylvania. What's the phone number, Kelly?
The phone number is 717-505-8676.
And the beauty of the White Rose Hobbies right there in York, Pennsylvania, because they always have great sales, is that you can stay for, like, you can take your RV, because just down the road, they're just down the road from.
Benjamin Franklin RV Park.
Yeah, I think it's technically just the Ben Franklin RV Park.
Oh,
Well, no, I think that's the way that's their.
they do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is the Ben Franklin RV Park with respect to Jim Lincoln Chevroles?
oh, a totally different place.
Yeah, totally different town.
part of the country, too.
Yeah, different state, different town, different everything. Look at this. Over there at the old whiterosehobbies.com right now, you can get the Broadway Limited HO scale Baldwin Centipede Seaboard airline for, instead of $329, it's $229. Holy mackerel! What a sale!
Mm.
How many can we put you down for, Linda? Linda.
I'd need to build a train shed in the backyard to run something that big first.
Linda. And they've got gray hoppers, $5 off. All right.
Derek. Derek is going to be all over that.
So for people this is on the free channel. So for people that have no idea what we're talking about, many years ago into our life walked a fellow named John Gardiner. 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 And he walked into our life at, I believe, the first time I ever met him was at one of our AML barbecues out there in someplace. Rochelle, yeah. Rochelle, Illinois.
No, I wasn't there for the first Rochelle, but I was there for Tomstock, and then I made it to the second Rochelle.
Oh, okay. So is that where I met you the first time? Was it Tomstock?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, yeah. And then you rode your motorcycle to Rochelle.
Yep.
Yes, during my Iron Butt, 1,100 miles in 22 hours. In fact, if you were paying attention during Rochelle, I was like gripping my right hand, desperately trying to open my fingers again to flat. I was seriously worried I gave myself permanent damage there.
Okay. Well, I wasn't paying attention. All I was thinking to myself is this guy ever going to stop talking?
I think we can safely answer that question is probably no.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how many people from the AML Nation first came in contact with John, and he calls himself G4 because I'm assuming you're the fourth John Gardiner in your family.
That is correct. And then I also once tried introducing myself as John, but then I got indicted by the FCC for false advertising, pretending to be too normal.
The FCC. Why would the FCC care? You weren't an on-air personality of any kind, were you?
False advertising, I believe.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's a whole different discussion. And then our buddy Kevin Marks renamed you Notch 11, which is a great nickname as well.
Fitting, I would say.
Yeah, because it's one louder.
Although, again, now I'm Dr. Notch 11. But is that Dr. Notch 11 or Dr. 11 first name Notch? The world may never know.
Okay, give us a hint.
I think it's up to the AML Nation.
Well, you
I still
have to.
think it should be Notch 9.
No.
Why not?
No, it is
No,
11, definitely.
Now you're Notch 24.
Why would it be Notch 9?
Because normal locomotives go to Notch 8. But
No, that's a sound. We're talking about sound.
We're talking about another great American movie.
American movie. Yeah.
well, yeah, where something that normally goes to 10 would go to 11, but these go to 8. So
I mean,
Notch 9.
Linda, you know me. Even assuming we're working in base 8 here, I think 11 still applies.
Okay.
Yeah, it
I'll
doesn't
buy that.
really matter in that case.
We'll give you a few extra points.
Do you think Linda will be here all evening?
You survived me for like
Oh, I'm
4 days
gonna mute
in San
myself.
Diego.
That's a question we all need to ask ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, will Linda be here all evening?
I already left.
You did. You left. All right.
Yeah, I'm back now, though.
All right. So, anyways, we decided we were going to have John on G4. We'll refer to you as G4 from now on.
Thank you.
And this was a very popular idea because you sent in an email some time ago describing somehow you were involved. You believe you were involved with Railroad Model Craftsman.
That is correct.
And so give us a little synopsis about what your email was about.
All right. So it all started 6 years ago. Okay, not quite. So the simplest way I can sum it up is that I wrote a series of articles for Railroad Model Craftsman related to a bunch of NMRA presentations that I've given at several NMRA events from Massachusetts to Texas. And Otto Vondrak asked, did I have any photos to go with those articles? And I said, wait, what do you mean? And I then realized that I needed to have not just photos, but ones that I have the rights to. So I couldn't just get them randomly off the internet. And that started a crazy 5-week trip, Amtrakking across the entire United States and bicycling the length of every U.S. DMU transit system end to end in order to take cumulatively, I think, like 5,000 or 6,000 photos, but I submitted a mere 500 of them to Railroad Model Craftsman and then also uploaded all of them to my website.
I bet he was happy. I bet he was happy about that.
He did send an email back very quickly saying, wait, what? And then I was able to walk him off the cliff saying, I selected the best 2 or 3 from each group, but I uploaded all of them just in case he wanted.
Yeah. So where does this article stand now? What have you guys? So this is about commuter trains?
Kind of. So they're more like regional rail. They don't always go into downtown, and they're more meant to be either tangential backbones to a pre-existing transit system or a backbone transit system to a more rural, less than downtownish area. And
G4?
importantly,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. I was going to say the same thing. Thank you, Daniel.
G4, you used way too big of words in there for Uncle Lionel.
Okay.
Now, what does tangential mean?
So non-radial, so not suburb to downtown, like a flower or a bicycle wheel, but instead kind of cutting across a suburb, and in order to deliver people to a light rail or a subway line or something, in order to then allow them to go into downtown.
So they're the short lines of passenger rail?
They're the short lines of regular commuter transit, sort of, a crosstown line, essentially.
I don't believe anything you're saying now. So here's the letter. Greetings, evil overlord. I'm zooming on a Wednesday chat group, and there's a suggestion I should share my recent efforts with the main podcast. Over the past 10 months, during and after defending my dissertation, I've hoboed we'll get back to that. I've hoboed around the U.S. Logging 69,000 kilometers on Amtrak. How many miles is that?
38,000, something like that.
Okay. Bicycling the length of every single U.S. DMUs. What does DMU stand for?
Diesel Multiple Unit Hybrid Light Rail, or just DMU for short. Essentially, think of like an electric multiple unit, an EMU, like on a bunch of electrified commuter rail systems, mostly in the Northeast and obviously in Europe, but just, no pantograph, no overhead, no third rail, just a diesel onboard under the floorboards.
That was beautiful. Who did that?
I didn't do it.
Marcus?
Not me.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Maybe it
I
was
kind of
me.
like this, so I'm willing to take credit for it if nobody else does.
How can we do it again?
Time was up. Time was up.
And then so are you talking like something like New Jersey or like New Jersey's rail transit system?
Actually, yes. The New Jersey Transit River Line was the first one in the U.S. It opened in 2004. It was preceded by only one other line, the O Train, the Trillium Line in Ottawa in 2001. And that kind of got the idea of using these types of vehicles in U.S. transit systems. But it was New Jersey Transit that used, and this is specifically why I think it's relevant to model railroading, these systems aren't just separate independent transit lines like a subway. They instead share the rails with freight trains. And so the southern half of the river line runs on an extra main line, side-by-side triple track with a major freight rail line by Pavonia Yard. And then the northern half of the river line, it actually is a single track main line that the DMUs take during the daytime, and then the freight trains take during the nighttime. And in almost every single other case in the entire U.S., these DMUs, they actually share rails with active freight trains, which of course makes it incredibly relevant to modeling. And it's a development that's happened in the past 20 years that I have spent a surprisingly large amount of my hobby career trying to share with other modelers, because who doesn't love passenger trains every half hour on freight switching lines?
I mean, that sounds really cool.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Explain to us what he just said.
Sure. Well, in many cases, passenger rail is separate in an interurban setting, but then in this case, sometimes the passenger trains share the freight train lines, and it goes back to kind of the good old days of railroading when you had freight and passenger trains sharing the same lines.
Exactly.
I mean,
and then importantly, the passenger
a lot
trains.
like what Amtrak tries to. It sounds a lot like what Amtrak tries to do, only just much more successful
and more frequent. Most importantly,
yeah, exactly.
Instead of one Amtrak train a day, it's a couple trains an hour.
Well, and these are really tiny distances by comparison. These aren't intercity trains. Yeah. So G4, you never did make it to Nashville, but so is like the Music City Star kind of like that. It's a commuter rail that runs in the morning from Lebanon to Nashville, and then in the evening from Nashville back to Lebanon. But it operates on R.J. Corman's freight rails. But it doesn't connect with any larger passenger rail because, well, there isn't any.
Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't make it to Nashville, because, that's a long story. We might get into it. But in a sense, as you're describing, Roger, yes, it's kind of like that. But it's a little bit more with a freight switching line focus. So the reason why a lot of these systems popped up is because people realized about 20 years ago that there were a ton of incredibly underutilized freight rail switching lines just all over major metro areas. And if the line sat completely vacant 6.5 out of every 7 days, well, then why go through all the effort to maintain the right of way when instead you can have passenger trains running on them every 30 or so minutes and turn it into an important transit line? But importantly, not for new construction, not for demolition, but on rails that are already there. You can turn it into a decently high-quality transit line for little more than the cost of the vehicles and a couple of thousand cubic yards of concrete for the platforms. So it's somewhat like a commuter rail, like locomotive hauled, as you're describing with the Music City Star. But what makes a lot of these systems unique is that they use mostly European, a little bit of Japanese, and sometimes American-style vehicles that are diesel multiple units. So you could run as little as a single car back and forth, like in Portland or in Austin, or you can lash them up into 2 or even 3 DMU long pairs. You can vary those lash ups over the course of the day to deal with peak demand. It's an remarkably flexible system. Did I stay under my 3 minutes?
It sounds like a no-brainer.
You did. That was excellent, sir. That was excellent. And as concise of an answer as I think we will ever be able to accomplish.
All right. Well, wonderful. That's the episode. 6 out of 10 DMU transit modelers. Subway chimes go. Good night, everybody.
Oh, God.
So would you consider the San Diego, the MTS trolley system as one, because it's running on the San Diego and Imperial Valley freight line that is only needed like a couple nights a week here and there.
Somewhat. So another part of what I've been trying to do is sing the song of light rail, because light rail often shares rights of way, just not the same tracks. And so in like almost 30 or 40 cases around the U.S., you have instances of light rail vehicles running exactly parallel to freight trains for long periods of time. But that's obviously mostly a scenic feature. That's not an operational one. So while there are, I think, 3 light rail systems that actually do share tracks with freight rails, the San Diego MTS Trolley, New Jersey Transit HBLR, and then finally the Blue Line in Salt Lake City. That is the exception to the norm, whereas DMUs are baked into the freight rail transit from the start. And so they are much more infrastructure light. They are much more freight heavy. And so that's why I think they're relevant to model railroading, because at the extreme end, I think the A train in Denton, Texas, the station at, I think, Trinity Mills, gives an excellent example where, in theory, just imagine like a small 1 by 10 foot shelf layout. You have a prototype for a frequent transit system that can be modeled with as little as 1 vehicle, 1 station platform, and 1 staging pocket track. If that is a literal prototype, then everybody should be modeling DMUs, either prototypically or proto-freelancing, because they tie so direct into freight switching lines.
And I've looked at your photographs, and what's interesting to me is how small these consists are. Like,
they're incredibly flexible.
So almost like a RDC kind of situation where it's just like 1 or 2 cars lashed up, moving around on this freight line. You're right. It's very modelable, but it's modern equipment. It's not RDCs. It's modern.
Actually, 2 of these systems did start with RDCs. The A train in Denton, it actually started with RDCs while its vehicles were in production, and then it swapped out for the newer modern vehicles, which are nicer in every way. And actually, the West in Portland, between Beaverton and Wilsonville, it actually still has RDCs on the roster for use every so often when the regular vehicles go out of service. And so if you're willing to proto-freelance, if they already have been used with RDCs, then that means that this works for almost any layout going back to the 50s or 60s.
And
what I'm hearing is this is a, if you want to be less high-minded about it, like G4 is.
Why would you?
Well, right, but you have a real purpose with this. But at bare minimum, this is a cool way to be able to model U.S. freight stuff and buy some European or Japanese engines and still work that in your layout in a realistic way. Like the stuff you normally can't buy, well, now you can. See,
exactly.
That's a no-lose. That's extra fun.
Although I will even note that not only is it a way to have fun with like European or Japanese vehicles, even if you didn't care for the passenger vehicles at all, it's still a more fun way to model freight railroading. Because again, say that you have a very simple small shelf layout, would you rather run 1 or 2 trains on it during an operating session, or 41 or 42 with a train every half hour blocking off half of the layout to the switcher such that you have to plan your moves around it? It is an excellent foil for dispatchers and freight operators alike.
Nice.
And if you don't want to limit yourself to the U.S., those things are running all over the place in Japan.
Oh, and Europe as well. I mean, actually, This is one of the reasons why I went so gung-ho for this technology. I went to Switzerland and was radicalized.
Nice.
That'll do it.
I just sent a message to Otto Vondrack, the editor of Railroad Model Craftsman.
Telling him what? That he can't publish my articles because I'm too crazy?
Would you like, Daniel, would you like to know what I wrote?
I would. Are you offering to give G4 back?
No, I put. Right now, we're interviewing G4 on the podcast. My head hurts.
One of the drafts of one of the 2 articles I sent him was over 5,000 words. So
you don't say.
So that's an entire 100-page magazine right there.
Yeah. I can't.
I think I might be the reason why RMC is expanding in page count.
So everybody out there in podcast land that listens to this podcast sped up to try to get through it quicker. Slow this one down.
Excellent observation.
So your trip on Amtrak, you took all of the Amtrak trains in the U.S.? Is that what you're saying?
No, I haven't taken all of the Amtrak trains in the U.S. I needed to take the Amtrak for this one for 2 reasons. Firstly, for my bicycle. So I have a folding bicycle. Actually, 3 years ago, I sold my car and my motorcycle, and I've been living exclusively car-free since then. And the bicycle was incredibly important for this journey because I could fold it up and ride the vehicles to the other end of the line and then unfold it and then bicycle along 10 minutes, find a spot, wait 5 minutes, take pictures of a train, bicycle another 10 minutes, heft it over logs and rocks and whatnot. I didn't have to find any parking spaces. It was incredibly useful. So I would like to highly advocate bicycle-based rail fanning. But then, and so the reason why I took Amtrak is because I could just fold up my bicycle and slide it into the luggage compartments and take it with me to all of these different DMU systems. I think my route was Pittsburgh to Philly to New York to Chicago to Dallas to Austin to Los Angeles to San Diego to Portland and then to Seattle to see my family there. The other major reason why I took Amtrak is a little bit fatter.
Can you repeat that? What was your itinerary?
So my 5-week itinerary, I graduated from my PhD in State College, and my parents drove me to Pittsburgh.
You keep mentioning that. I'm starting to doubt that you ever went to university because of how many times you mentioned that you have a PhD, like as if, and I'm starting to think to myself, this guy's never even graduated high school, much less university.
I can send you links to my scientific articles if you want.
Yeah,
I saw part of his PhD defense.
Oh, he had to defend it, did he?
He did.
It was that bad?
I would like to think it was actually pretty good. And in classic G4 fashion, it was 110 slides in 50 minutes. I had to give an epilepsy warning at the beginning.
110.
Just think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Now, is that panel still in school, or did they commit themselves to it?
Did they quit?
Yeah.
No, I think my dissertation committee decided that they just didn't want to deal with me anymore and shoved me out the door as quickly as they could.
God.
Yeah, you wore them down.
So anyway, to answer your question, Lionel, after I graduated, my family drove me to Pittsburgh. And then with my folding bike, I then spent the 5-week journey from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia to, then Princeton and then New York City, then Chicago, Dallas, and Fort Worth as well, Austin, San Antonio, Los Angeles, San Diego, Portland, and Seattle.
And I think somebody asked, I think it was Daniel, about riding around on Amtrak. It says here you did 69,000 kilometers on Amtrak. So I think
cumulatively, not on this one trip, although this one trip accounted for about a quarter of it or so. I have not ridden every single route of Amtrak, but I've now ridden everything west out of Chicago.
Okay, so then your letter is your email was very misleading. Then over the past 10 months, during and after defending my dissertation, I've hoboed around the U.S., logging 69,000 kilometers on Amtrak.
Okay, maybe I should have clarified my verbiage. My apologies, Lionel.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, now I'm questioning that dissertation.
Exactly. I've only ever read one paragraph of something he's written in already, and it's misleading. So it's
now he has to defend his letter.
Yeah.
Well, we have more rigorous standards on the
You
AML.
can do it, G4.
We're more rigorous than Penn State University, right?
Oh, yeah. Let me get my slide rule out and see.
If you guys are really measuring, then I actually did, in order to get the Silver Line in Dallas, which opened up after I was there, I had to Amtrak back to Dallas and then back to Pennsylvania, and then from Pennsylvania to Chicago, and then on the Southwest Chief back to Los Angeles. So it's a long story.
Wow.
Is there a Google map?
I can make you one. Actually, probably the safer way is just search up Amtrak system map, and that approximately encompasses everything that I've written. Approximately.
Well, you've got a list on your website. You've got a list of testimonials, but there's no names. There's just very obscure, internet names.
There are some names. I think I actually have one from Otto Vondrak there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've heard he's a heavy drinker.
Oh my God!
What?
Well, you'll hear from his lawyer.
Here, he's fourth from the bottom because he was one of the first people who said something of this. He said, "Of course, modern transit is tied to a number of the social issues you discuss in your podcast." That being my podcast, The Beginner's Guide to Model Railroading, and Proto Future, the world's only eco-Marxist model railroading podcast.
Okay, what I see, the Proto Future and the Beginner's Guide to Model Railroading. Modelers and Rail Fans Guide to U.S. DMU Transit Systems. Okay,
Yes.
so I looked up the River Line,
Yes.
and it seems very cute. So for me to try to understand this, what you're trying to say is these very short, very modern, you call them DMU trains, which I guess is what everybody refers to them as, hybrid rail service in southern New Jersey. It connects the cities of Camden and Trenton. And it parallels the River Line stops at blah, blah, blah. And where does it say something about it's originally operated by Southern New Jersey. I'm trying to see where it says what these things are made. Who made these?
So I kind of wrote this a little bit more in a linear narrative style. I have a discussion on vehicles further down towards the end, particularly.
I'm on Wikipedia.
Okay.
You're not linear narrative. You're Wikipedia.
Not my website.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm at right now.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So how much did this cost? How much did this cost you?
A non-small amount. I think I'll put it this way: a direct.
Is it a secret or something?
I mean, it's a lot. It's about $2,000 for a one-way trip across the states from Chicago to the Pacific Coast, and then I, of course, did that 5 times, in addition to all the stuff on the East Coast.
So what kind of passage were you booking on the train that way? Were you doing a sleeper? Were you doing a roomette or coach?
I was doing a roomette, and that was largely courtesy of my parents because I didn't want to slum it in coach, especially when I was spending 5 weeks for one.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But then also, especially because I was bringing my bike along, since it's a folding bicycle, it counts as just straight up luggage. And so I could just fold it and put it in the luggage racks on the bottom level of each Superliner car.
Okay. You didn't keep it in your roomette?
It's a little small.
Yeah, you can barely change your mind in a roomette. They are small. But, I mean, compared to camping out in a coach chair, they're pretty luxurious.
Derek is being awfully quiet.
I'm here.
Yeah, I think you and I had a pre-show meeting about this, didn't we?
About what?
About you not being quiet.
Derek's waiting for the gummies to kick in.
That might be a little bit true.
It's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
Although I will say it was a drinkable version this evening, beverage format. But no,
I will admit I'm not one of the type of people to inspire sobriety.
Honestly, that should go on an AML T-shirt.
Oh my God.
Not a podcast that inspires sobriety.
Not this one, anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Once you listen to this podcast and you drink enough, you are going to end up under the layout.
Where's the snare drum?
Oh boy!
Oh man!
So G4. In HO scale or in any other scale, is any of this DMU equipment available to model in current day?
Just barely. So I started all of this journey as a single presentation at various NMRA national conventions in 2022, which was when Pico released the NCTD Sprinter in HO scale. So the particular vehicle, the Siemens DeZero, is a very classic one for European systems. It's been running for like over 30 years there. And so they already had tooling for that in Europe. And then they realized, oh, wait, this one vehicle runs in Southern California. Let's just change the paint and then send it over to the Americans. And so that's part of what precipitated this journey. It's like, now we have this model. All right, what are we supposed to do with it? What do the layouts look like? What is the context of this model for everybody else? So there's that. And then I would say the most common modern vehicle is the Stadler Flirt, which is the longer one that you see on TextRail, the Silver Line, and they also have a shorter version on the Arrow in San Bernardino, California.
Okay, wait. Not to sound like Lionel, but did you say Stadler? Could you spell that for me?
Stadler, but it's a Swiss-German company, and so when the S is followed by a consonant, it's a sh sound. So it's Siemens because it is followed by vowels, but it's Stadler because it is followed by a T.
Have you ever heard of the golfer Craig Stadler?
No.
No, I was asking Derek, actually.
No.
It's spelled the same, Stadler.
Okay.
And I thought he was talking about the GTW 26, but apparently he's
That
talking
is also
about...
made by Stadler, and it was actually an even earlier version. And actually, so a really interesting thing that I learned recently about that, the 26 comes from the Swiss locomotive naming system. So the first number is the number of powered axles in the train, and the second number is the number of total axles. So there are two versions of the GTW, the 26, which is what you see mostly in America, and then there's the 28, which has a whole extra car and obviously an extra truck. So that's why I have two extra axles, but it still is only powered by the two main axles to begin with.
Wait, these
So
Stadler
it's 2 powered axles, but 8 total axles.
Yes, you don't see any pictures of those on my website. They don't run in the US.
These look awesome.
Thank you.
These are cool looking.
I wonder who's going to... how many of these... what do they call them again? Hang on. Let me see if I can figure it out. Don't say
DMUs?
I'm not talking to you. Riverline stylized. The Riverline is a hybrid rail service in southern New Jersey that connects. So what are you calling these individual lines? What are you calling them?
So I'm calling the category or style of transit DMUs because even though in Europe they are just a category of passenger carrying train that could be used in a variety of different ways, in North America they are used in such a remarkably similar way. They all have kind of reinvented the exact same playbook, and so I'm calling the category of transit just DMU for simplicity.
So
DMU transit.
So you've come up with the DMU name.
Not me. It's kind of a bunch of other people have used this as well, and I'm just kind of consolidating since I've been to all of them.
So this river line runs from Philadelphia or down Trenton, I guess. To
yes, actually on the original
Camden.
passenger carrying route in the U.S. from 1832.
So if I could, for those of us in the room, for the thousands of us in the room, if I could use...
I thought nobody listened to this. It was just only us together.
It's just us.
I'm so tired.
A few of our closest friends.
That's the thing is people actually still do listen to this, and I don't know why.
If you listen to this podcast, I would go to your doctor and get a checkup because it may be a lethal condition.
Why would you say such a thing?
Sorry, Lionel. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
That's why you fit in so well with us.
Oh,
Jesus Murphy.
Well, you said I wasn't talking enough, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Do you regret your words now?
No.
Yeah, sure.
True enough.
Oh, God.
You know what's kind of scary for everybody in the room other than G4? Linda?
Yeah.
Linda.
Yes.
You know what's kind of scary?
Uh-huh.
This is kind of interesting.
You're shocked, stunned, and amazed, are you?
yeah, stunned.
Surprise!
Yeah. Surprise! Shazam!
Are any of these built in the U.S. G4?
Now they
Siemens
are.
ones? Okay.
So, not the Siemens ones. I think actually only the Sprinter uses Siemens vehicles, the Desiros. It's an absolute dog's breakfast. So, for a while towards the beginning, there were two companies that did try to build one. The first one was the infamous Raider /US/Colorado rail car, which tried to build the 5 vehicles for Portland, and it went bankrupt during construction. And so they TriMet had to resuscitate the corporate corpse in order to get their vehicles. So they went under. Then a Japanese company.
What's TriMet?
TriMet is the public transit agency of Portland who ordered the vehicles.
Portland, Oregon.
Then
Portland, Oregon.
Nippon Shari.
Portland,
yes,
Oregon.
that is correct.
See,
Portland,
that's the way we
yeah.
talk. That's the way we do things here. We explain stuff to people.
Portland, Oregon, not Portland incorrect.
Okay.
Then the Japanese company Nippon Sharyo tried to build vehicles for the U.S. market, and they managed to only get 2 systems to buy them. Smart in Northern California, north of the Bay Area, and then the Union Pearson Express between Toronto and the airport, and then they also went under. And so up until about 2021 or 2, I believe it was, there were all of the other DMUs running were built in Europe by European companies and then shipped over here until finally Stadler started to see enough of a market here that they built a factory in Salt Lake City. And so now every single DMU system that has opened since then has been buying Stadler flirts. So things like TexRail, the Silver Line in Dallas, and then the Arrow in Southern California. And then there are at least 2, maybe 3. Oh, and excuse me, how could I forget? O-Train in Ottawa as well. And then there are 2 more systems that I think have...
Stop.
I ran out of my 3 minutes.
Stadler flirts.
Yes. Not to be confused with Stadler kisses or winks. They have a very flirty line up there.
Oh, that was a joke. Okay, I get it. See, there was a play on words. So what is the Stadler flirt is what?
So that is the
how do you spell flirt? F-L-I-R-T?
That is correct, yes.
All right.
So the flirt is different from the GTW, and not only in that it is a modern vehicle, it's that it's also a physically larger and more powerful one. So the GTW, for anybody looking at these,
slow down. You're starting to lose the room. You're definitely starting to lose the room.
It looks like a bus that you would actually want to ride.
Oh, they are so smooth and so amazing. And actually, the really funny thing was, I had originally ridden a lot of Stadler flirts with my sister in Switzerland. So she actually did her master's in Zurich, whereas I did my PhD in the Rust Belt. So my career was moving in the wrong direction for a while there. But it was so funny to have been not 4 months out of Switzerland and then be in Fort Worth, Texas, riding the same vehicles, the exact same seats, the same announcement, the same buttons on the door, but then they opened up ever so offensively to suburban Texas instead of the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, that's a different environment.
I can see the disappointment there.
Yeah. I know where I'd rather be.
I mean, Texas is cool, but it's not the Alps.
So the Stadler flirts, all of the Stadler vehicles, they are unique for having a middle power pack, it's called, which I had a friend once describe it as kind of a fun house that you get to walk down the middle of. So that's where the prime movers are. And in the GTWs, the older, smaller vehicles that could only accommodate 2, maybe sometimes 3 passenger cars.
Stop. You're losing the room.
Okay. You don't want to hear technical talk then?
No, I never said that. I said you're losing the room because you're getting way ahead of the... You're getting way ahead of the whole deal here. So,
all right, I'll try to rein myself in. Ask me questions.
I'm going to. I fully intend to. Because Derek won't.
He did. Oof. I think he then regretted it.
No, I'm sitting back and enjoying this. I thought the Texas and Switzerland story was great.
Right now, Derek thinks he's sitting in a room full of butterflies.
I want whatever he's smoking.
Drinking.
Oh, wow, that too.
I'll bring you some next time in Nashville.
All right.
So the Stadler flirt is the main product that's used by American DMUs.
Yeah, I would say so, yes, at the moment. And all of the future ones are probably also going to use that too. And going back to an earlier question about model vehicles.
We're not going back to that. We're not going back to that question. We're not going back.
No, that is interesting. Go back to that.
What question?
So, unfortunately, unfortunately, the only prototype vehicle is the Siemens DeZero from Pico. There are a bunch of other Stadler vehicles in European prototypes, so they do come in DCC and sound. It's just the station announcements are in Czech or Polish, so not overwhelmingly relevant to the American market. There is one model that I have found of a Stadler flirt in 00 scale from Hornby. So my hope is that
why couldn't you, if they're in DCC and they have sound modules, why couldn't somebody? What does it matter that they're either in Czechoslovakian or some other foreign language, not foreign?
Because they're not. Sorry, Lionel.
This is great.
I was talking.
Somebody's out Lionel.
No, I don't think so.
Impossible.
Yeah. Do you hear him talking?
This is true. Come on, G4.
So, I also have the buttons here.
Do you have a master mute button?
Yeah, we're getting to it. So why, if these are DCC and sound DCC compatible with sound, why couldn't a North American modeler just install their own sound in their own, station stops and what have you? Why is that of any importance to somebody that might want to use them on the North American side of the Atlantic Ocean?
Well, for several reasons. Firstly, one, I would say that it's just simply easier to have something that's ready to run. It is a lot of effort to not just install a DCC decoder, but also deinstall one and then install your own and then come up with your own sound files and upload all of those, like if it's an ESC Loc sound thing. One thing I am really hopeful about this is that because these are modern vehicles that actually run through present-day communities, if we, as a hobby, model DMUs more, it will be easier to get young people into the hobby. Because think about it, 100 and some odd years ago, what Lionel was producing, not you, Lionel, what Lionel was producing, a little kid could pick up their model from right underneath the Christmas tree and then walk down the town street and then hold it right up next to the real thing. But nowadays, we have kind of lost that with a little bit too much of a focus on heartless freight industrial alleyways and less effort on modeling light rail vehicles and streetcars and transit things that are in the communities that people are growing up in. So if we have ready-to-run models of DMUs, then we can also presumably have cheaper versions of those same toolings that can then be put in Christmas tree train sets as a way to get more young people into the hobby. And then finally, the third thing, the third reason why you would want a US...
Stop. This is way too much. You're spewing out way too much information.
I've been accused of worse.
Nobody can hear it because it's like coming out in like large globs. And
have you ever read a dissertation, Lionel?
Yeah, mine was 258 pages.
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't. And
it's a lot of words usually.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's like doing a history exam in high school. It's like just keep writing, man. Just keep writing. 1,000 words.
I'll put it to you this way, Lionel.
I did not ask for your opinion on that one. Sorry. I did not ask for your opinion. So I want to get back to, I think it's a very kind of interesting thing that these models are being made in Europe, and I'm sure they're very, very popular in Europe because of the size of these. So we need to explain to people these particular DMUs are really very relatively short trains. Now, near my home in Florida, they have a new Sunrail that runs from the west side of Orlando, about 15 miles to the west of Orlando, and runs not very close to my home, and then ends up in a place at DeLand, Florida. The whole thing is about 70 miles long, and they're using typical North American style commuter trains for it, but they've only got 2 cars and an engine because not that many people ride it every 30 minutes. But these sound like they'd be very cool to have in HO scale. Are they made in HO scale, or they're only made at a European scale, or what?
They are made in HO and N, I believe. So if you're getting a European model, you have to be careful that it's not AC, which is the Märklin third rail style. Okay. But if it is a DC or DCC system, then it should be compatible with NMRA standard systems.
On your various travels throughout the world, have you seen them as DC or DCC systems?
Yes, I do believe that they come in not only DCC, but also with sound in some models.
And who is the manufacturer that makes those?
Wide variety, Pico at least, but I also believe there's one Swiss company I'm forgetting the name of. Trix is another one. I think that's the 2-rail arm of Märklin. Märklin, of course, if you do model 3-rail, they have those as well. So those are probably the big ones that I can think of off the top of my head, but I am not a European. I am not an expert in the field there, but I know at least those 3 companies.
And this is Pico, Piko, is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Oh, it's not Pico, PE.
The track, it's not the track people, PECO. It's a different Pico.
That is correct.
I did not know that. There's Pico America. Look at that. So if somebody was trying to find one of these on the internet, what would any idea what they'd put into the Google?
The first thing that I would do is go to, or at least if you're in the North American market, go to Reynolds, Reynauls. Reynolds is a European model train importer to America. And so as a result, they're kind of the Walthers, but for European models. And so if you put in...
they're in Chicago, is that right?
I have no idea, actually.
Marcus, could you spell that for me?
So I just found it. It's REYNAULDS.com.
Oh, this is a whole rabbit hole. Look at this website.
Reynolds
Oh, yeah.
Euro Imports.
Be careful. Put the wallet away.
Oh,
How do you know? How do you know about it? What's your name?
Who, me? Roger?
Yeah, Roger.
I think I know it through the dude, watching the dude.
Oh, the dude.
Yeah.
The dude wants to come on our podcast again. And actually, you know what? I think after, if we did them back to back, actually, you couldn't do that because that would probably cause somebody some sort of mental breakdown.
What are you suggesting here?
Yeah.
Break the internet.
Let's put Andy Zimmerman in between G4 and the dude.
Andy, we love you. You know that. That's why I'm talking about
Andy.
That's why I'm talking about him. He's going to come on and talk about the 25th. And what is he talking about? The world record. The world record for T-Track at Chattanooga. That's what he's going to talk about, and multiple other things too. You know what, Andy Zimmerman is like G4, only slowed down by like 50%.
Yeah, just as much information.
Yeah, like lots of interesting information, but you can actually just digest it.
Well, can we say G4 but Southern? So
no,
it's just all very
not even close. Really, comparing anybody to G4 without some sort of a preference or some sort of explanation would be, I don't know, what's the word? An insult.
I think Andy might take exception to this comparison.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry to both G4 and Andy for suggesting
I think it would be fun to get G4 and the dude on the same podcast.
Oh man!
I doubt if the dude.
That's combustible.
I doubt if the dude even knows who G4 is.
He would afterwards. After about 2 minutes.
It's unforgettable.
He barely knows. He barely knows who I am.
I don't think he knows who anybody is.
There you go. Now you're picking it up.
Actually,
why is there smoke?
There's a lot of commonality between me and the dude right now.
There's smoke in my basement. Why is there smoke in my basement?
Uh-oh.
Hey, look at that smoke in my. Hey, look at that
Is
smoke
it coming out of your ears, Lionel?
Hey, look at that smoke in my basement on my camera. I wonder why there's smoke down there.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it.
Hey, there's smoke in my basement.
Jeez.
Hey, G4, we have an issue now because
I've been called worse.
Because I found the Reynolds website thanks to you, and now we're about to buy 8-bar N-scale it's Trenitalia Frecciarassa set.
Do they make great
beautiful
for $649. So thanks, G4. This is a whole new area of the hobby I didn't know I needed to be in.
What he's trying to say is, I was just in Italy, and I'm much more worldly now.
I am not more worldly.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
the auto translation.
I've been to Italy 4 times. Big deal.
Yeah.
I heard he had
Northern
something dollars to blow on train.
But I do have a question about your trip to Italy.
Well, okay, we'll ask that on another show.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Ask it. You sound very hurt. Go ahead and ask it.
It was just a simple one. Did you ride any railroads in Italy?
I did.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, there we go. So
Did you
it does
take
go
any
somewhere,
photographs?
right? Yeah.
I did. I even sent a couple photographs.
I saw one.
Yeah, I rode the Frecciarassa. I rode the Intercity. I ran a couple of commuter trains in Naples, outside of Naples, and then a couple of commuter trains north from Rome up to Umbria as well.
Okay,
I think
Marcus,
we've had
now,
a positive influx.
Okay, Marcus, now what are you going to do? See what you did there, Marcus?
We'll have to talk to him on another podcast about all of that.
There you go. You write that down, Marcus.
Eric goes to Italy.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about pizza, though. But that's
well, we can talk about that too, especially on the Patreon channel.
Derek, if ever you go back to Italy, talk to me first because I know the best speakeasy in the world in Firenze.
Well,
I will take that suggestion, but Florence is not my favorite city.
I love Florence outside of the historic city center. Their 2 light rail lines were absolutely spectacular.
Okay. I have not taken the light rail in Florence. I've just taken the high speed out of Florence, but I've been to Florence, I think, twice, and it was fine, but yeah.
The station is not the best. I'm not a fan of the literally 1930s fascist architecture. It's like, oh, wonderful. I would love to ride a train out of a cube.
Yeah. Okay, now you
That's not political. That's historical.
No, he's just showing off.
Okay.
Now he's just like, look at it.
This is not an architecture podcast.
Yeah,
this is a railroad.
exactly. Yeah. That would be like me saying,
challenge accepted.
Yeah, that would be like me saying when I played in Maple Leaf Gardens, this is what it's not the same.
Okay. Sorry, we got.
So this Reynolds website is deep. There's a lot here.
Yes, there is.
So now we've learned something today. This wasn't a complete waste of time because we learned about Reynolds Euro imports. I never heard of them before, and I'm sure there's lots of people. It's a fantastic website.
There's a Bugatti diesel rail car on there. It's only $1,100.
What were you saying, Linda? There's several.
So there's a Bugatti diesel rail car on their French Fulgurex, Fulgurex is the maker, and it's a Bugatti 1933. I think it would count as a DMU. It's like a passenger car that has a big central motor thing.
What are you drinking?
She's drinking
first.
website.
Yeah. Okay. So start again. So you're in the
on the Reynolds website.
In the HO part.
I was searching and I randomly found it, but I can tell you the name to search for.
No.
My timer's going off on me. Sorry.
Oh, your timer's going off.
You have a meeting to get to, right?
Search for Fulgurex.
Yeah, thanks.
Diesel rail car or Bugatti Bugatti.
Or you could just share the link in the chat, Linda.
I could do that.
I don't like sharing links in the chat.
I'll send an invite to Lionel.
Now you're catching on.
You know what? With G4's unique personality, I think we can settle something once and for all. We have a very interesting question for G4, and I'm dying to hear his answer. John, may I refer to you as John occasionally?
G4 preferentially.
I understand that. That wasn't the question. I said, can I refer to you as John occasionally?
Occasionally, yes.
All right.
I don't know. Can you?
May I?
Sure.
Roger, why don't you ask me if you may leave? Some people don't like podcasts because we don't talk enough about trains, but I like the podcast because we talk about trains and have fun while we're doing it.
Well, yeah.
G4, have you ever seen the movie Back to the Future?
Yes, I have.
Thank you.
You are dismissed.
G4 consulted on the flux capacitor.
There you go. Yeah.
There you
I
go.
bet
Probably designed it.
Yeah, probably.
Can you expostulate on the realistic possibilities of space travel and time?
Turn Roger off now.
I would say yes, it is entirely feasible, just with an Einstein-Rosenberg bridge. Although I don't think I can guarantee time travel, though.
My head hurts.
Do I need a DeLorean or will my Civic work?
Can you get your Civic up to 88 miles an hour?
Oh, man, I've done 120 in my Civic.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Kilometers or
There you
miles?
go, yeah.
Kilometers or miles per hour?
Well, I was observing the speed limit, so I'm not really sure.
So if you're ever watching the movie, I've said this before, if you're ever watching the movie, what's the movie with Burt Reynolds? Smokey and the Bandit. If you're ever watching the movie Smokey and the Bandit, at one point earlier on in the movie, I'd say about 1/3 into the Sally Field turns to Burt Reynolds, the characters. She turns to him and says, "Does that say we're doing 120?" And in actual fact, it's a Canadian Firebird, and they're doing 120 kilometers, not 120 miles an hour. Interesting. That's a little bit of interesting. That's the kind of stuff, G4, that you should have tucked away in your brain.
Random car facts about 1980s movies. Yes, I'll definitely make space for that.
Some padding for the other idea.
Yeah, it's padding. It's padding. It's like I use my lawyer buddy, Mike Adams. I used to play golf with him a tremendous amount of time, and he was a lovely man. and his wife was a lovely man, but they were both intellectuals, high-end intellectuals. But his wife couldn't understand why he was playing golf with me, but we had fun together. But Mike, we would end up in the bar after golf, or we'd end up somewhere, and Mike was always embarrassed, especially during football season, that he didn't really know how to connect with the other guys because he knew nothing about football. So then I would always say to him, no matter what's going on, just yell out, linebacker blitz. Look out for the linebacker blitz. And it'll seem like you know what's going on. So this whole smoking the bandit piece of information, when you see people and their eyes are rolling back in their head and you want to get the crowd back to you, you can stop and start speaking about Americana, like Smoking the Bandit or Back to the Future, and say, in Smoking the Bandit, there's a scene, blah, 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 blah.
Lionel, when I was a tour guide for a tourist railroad, we actually had a phrase for when people in the audience were lost. It was called "Migo," my eyes glaze over.
There you go.
Okay.
Derek's are glazed over, but it's for a different reason.
Mine too.
The dude. Hey, Roger, I didn't realize you were also a Civic driver, though. We should get together and race our Civics sometime.
Do you have an SI?
I don't have an SI. I have an
I have an SI. SI Coupe. I love
it. Then you'd probably beat me.
Well,
I'm sure
Welcome to A Driver's Life, a podcast about talking about driving cars.
And then don't you only live like 2.5 hours from Chattanooga, Roger?
Something like that.
Yeah, like how many miles?
200? I don't know.
So you could be there in less than 2 hours, according to the way you drive. So there's no reason why you couldn't.
Yeah, but there's no reason get in the way.
There's no reason why you couldn't attend the operating session at Chris Wayman's house.
That's correct. Yeah.
Somebody else comes from
I've been
Nashville.
in touch with him, and what we're probably going to do is meet up in Railfan, because that's what I'm more interested in.
All right. Okay. Well, you should meet up with him then. That would be lots of fun for you guys. I think it would be endless amounts of fun. Ooh,
well, he knows his way around Chattanooga, that's for sure.
I think a better podcast. I just got a message from Otto Vondrak. He says, I bet he has a lot to say.
Big laughs all around.
Oh, boy.
You know who would be better to have with a G4 on the podcast? This would be
Otto Vondrak?
No, Chris Wayman.
Oh, that would be a podcast.
Yeah, wouldn't it though?
Wow.
All right. Well, we've run out of time. The network only allows us so much time, G4, and we've run out of time for this episode. Would you stick around for a second to record a second episode that'll be on Patreon?
Absolutely.
All right. And then you can be somebody's breathing into their microphone, either Linda or Roger.
Not me.
Oh, it's probably me. I'm heavy breathing, so I'm not sure I can stick around. But
I was going to mention White Rose Hobbies.
Okay, go ahead.
If you need some awesome locomotives, rail cars, or anything else for your layout or books for inspiration, and even, except for Lionel, a blog, which is actually up to date. They put stuff on it pretty regularly. You can go to whiterosehobbies.com and check out all their cool stuff. And we're very happy that they sponsor the AML podcast.
And if I may add something.
No, you can't. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, you can't. Go ahead.
No, you can't. No,
I was just talking with the White Rose Bros.
I was going to say something.
I was just talking with the White Rose Bros, and they actually do, in fact, ship abroad to Europe. So in the event that you are looking at moving there, as am I, then you can still buy stuff from them.
Wow.
You know what they sell, but don't sell? They sell jelly beans, but not gummies.
I prefer it that way.
Kelly, why can't you be more like Linda? Linda.
I don't know. I'm calling my therapist soon.
I can hook you up with some blue hair color.
Yeah.
My head is hurting right now.
No kidding. I wonder, did we? Wait, I think okay. So let's recap. I think we got out of this podcast. We did learn something about DMUs, as confusing as it was. There's still multiple questions to ask, but we understood it to be small rail systems that utilize unutilized freight train tracks. Is that where we're at? Very cool little trains that utilize seldom used tracks.
Importantly, it is a prototypical way to bring passenger trains onto traditionally freight layouts.
Okay, so then where would we buy these particular models in order to do that?
Well, for now, you can get the Pico de Zero that's found in Southern California. That is prototypical. You can get a stand-in model of a European prototype or something for kit bashing from Reynolds. Or what I am looking at doing myself is you can get a 00 scale version of the Stadler Flirt from Hornby, which is actually really, really close, but it's in 00 scale, and then run that around until hopefully some manufacturer comes along with a US prototype.
Okay.
Now
And
I'm
you can
no
get these
expert.
in HONN.
I'm no expert, but looking at this pictures of the Flirt that Linda shared, it doesn't look too dissimilar to the Siemens Charger, but with like a bunch of windows and stuff. Like, am I wrong about that? Is it something that like Bachmann could do, just like retooling their Siemens?
Did you see the
Charger?
Bachmann Siemens S70?
I did not. But
Where are you looking at that, Linda?
I put it in the chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's good because everybody that's listening can also look at it.
Well, we wandered off of that topic, but where I found it,
No,
Original-
you wandered off that topic.
sorry,
Don't be.
kingshobby.com.
There's
I found it.
There's 6 messages in there, and they're all from Linda.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
thanks,
what I do.
Linda.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thanks, Linda.
Perhaps to bring Linda's comment into the mainstream and also simultaneously answer Lionel's question, hopefully very soon, Bachmann should be releasing a Siemens S70 light rail vehicle, both the regular and ultra-short versions, in 4 different liveries. So these are prototypical vehicles that run in the US on light rail systems. So an interesting thing is, in Europe...
HODCC and sound.
Yes, and then presumably, because this is how Bachmann works, we'll probably get N-scale very soon afterwards. Interestingly, in Europe, they have a similar style of thing to DMUs that are just electric. They're called tram trains. And so, not to introduce a subject at the 11th hour that completely changes the conversation, but also totally to introduce a subject at the 11th hour that totally
go ahead and
changes
do
the
that.
conversation.
Yeah, this is good.
If you all want to
Oh,
buy
you know
some-
what? I just have something to say before you go on.
Go ahead.
Kelly, can you give out our email address?
Lionel, I got nothing.
How can you not have anything?
I don't have any. I don't.
How can you not have anything? You know what? I
My brain
understand.
is bouncing around like a ping pong ball.
Yeah, mine too.
I bet
did better
G4
this
has
week.
something.
I got one.
Yeah, we're not
I
asking
have been
him.
thinking about this one for weeks, I swear.
I bet
I think
you
we should
have.
let G4 do it.
Why?
Yeah.
I think we should not let him do it just to teach him. You don't train a dog by letting it run around the neighborhood biting everybody.
Oh, but the
You don't
dog
spit in
has such
the
amazing
wind.
energy.
Yeah.
You gotta let it get
You
its
don't
energy
spit in the
out.
wind, and you don't. What is the other one? When you don't
Tug on the cape.
Tug on
See,
Superman.
there we go.
cape.
say tug on Superman's cape. Yeah, you don't tug on Superman's cape. You know what? Who we should try? Let's give Linda a try.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh dear. As I'm
Well, hey, you know
desperately
what?
looking.
You know what, Linda? You like typing out messages. Why not type a message to G4 and find out what he was going to say?
He's already got a couple in his inbox on Facebook from me. One way you can reach us by email is on the website.
No, that's not. No. Give out the email address.
That's
Real email.
Lionel's bit.
You gotta do
All right.
the Gmail.
Oh no. Okay, it's modellerslife@gmail.com. And we would love to hear from you.
No. Try again.
No?
Have you listened to the show
Do you
before?
listen to
Oh my
the
God, I
podcast?
did.
I love it.
She's got nothing either.
No,
Check the chat, Linda.
All right. So
if you'd like to
So,
reach us by email,
you-
go ahead.
you can reach us at a modeler's life. That's one L, like light.
Ah,
Oh, no, it isn't. That's 2 L's. I don't have it either.
So pro.
Back to the chat. It's
So
finding you all.
pro.
It's one L. It's one L like Stadler.
Stadler,
yeah.
not 2 L's like Lionel needs a drink.
Or light rail. That's one L
Or
like
light rail.
Stadler, not 2 L's like light rail.
Yep.
Ooh.
Come on, guys. It was staring you in the face all evening. That is one L like diesel, not two L's like multiple unit.
Oh, like the whole thing the show's about?
Yeah.
There you go.
Right?
Should have done flirt too. That's
Yeah, flirt
yeah,
would have been.
why not like
Well, why
flirt?
couldn't you bring out that one, Kelly? That would have been great.
because my head hurts.
Kelly's on a 5-minute tape delay.
I'm still trying to find this website that everybody was talking about.
Which one's
That's
that?
one all like Reynolds.
There you go.
And I have to bow out because I have to go plan a
No, you
convention.
can't. We're
No,
just
you
you have
can't.
to
You're
hang
stuck.
on to a couple minutes before you
All
go.
right.
All right.
I'm hanging.
Okay. So was there something else you wanted to say, G4? No, I'm just kidding.
How many hours do we have?
Oh God.
And if you didn't catch the email address, you can go to our website, amodellerslife.com. And right there's a little widget where you can send in your email. All you got to do is fill in your text and hit send, and it automatically goes to our website. And we see all the emails on our website, and then we can read them. And we just got one today, actually. Let's see, who did we get one today from? Don't tell me, let me go. By the way, G4 sent his on March 4th, 2026. We just got one today from Brian O'Meara. Cool. And he's a college professor. Uh-oh.
I can do the interview.
You're never going to believe what he has to say. Wow, he actually says something nice about me. Okay. And let's see, where were we? Oh, yeah. So then if you like that and you want to, you see the website, go to the email widget, blah, 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 send our email. And if you like this podcast and you'd like to have twice as much podcasting a week, although after this one, I'm not sure why you'd want to, unless you have a large bottle of Tylenol nearby. For just a few cents a day, you can go to you can join our Patreon channel. And there's a couple of great things about that. You get 2 podcasts a week. And then not necessarily back to back. Sometimes it's on Wednesday, sometimes it's on Friday, sometimes it's on Thursday, but it's always on Monday and another day that week. And then that's great stuff because it's a little more, I think we're going to find out this week that it's a little more
Unhinged.
Uninhibited. Uninhibited. A little
Unhinged?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's unhinged.
Relaxed.
Relaxed. That's a good word. Relaxed. Laid back.
I'm sorry, I don't identify with that word.
This is not laid back. Yeah.
How about uninhibited?
You don't identify with. You don't identify with the word laid back.
Nope.
That's okay. Well, then we'll talk about that on the Patreon channel because that's that makes no sense. And then if you join our T-shirt level, boom, then you're in the new game that's sweeping the globe. Hey, dude, where's my shirt? And every year you get a shirt that's only available to Patreon members, plus some other stuff. Linda recently experienced that, didn't you, Linda?
I did. I'm wearing my awesome shirt right now.
Okay, because you like the yellow one.
Indeed.
And you're the exact opposite of our friend in Greeley, Colorado. Her name is
Michelle Kempema.
Michelle Kempema doesn't like the yellow shirt. That's her least favorite. And
no.
And in Linda's case, it's her most favorite. So that's
right.
pretty cool.
It's the same color as my car.
There you go. What kind of car you got?
Subaru Crosstrek.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Can you get it up to 88 miles an hour?
Yeah, I think so. Just barely.
I think we've asked you, but you've seen the movie Back to the Future, correct?
Yes.
I wonder if there's one person in North America that hasn't seen it. That would be cool to find that person.
He's already on your
And then
I have
force
probably
it on
only
him.
seen it once, though.
Yeah.
And only one of them.
That's it. I think we've covered everything. Have we not, Marcus?
We've got it all.
Okay. So the only thing I want to say, so now at the appropriate moment, John, G4, notch 11, or as Linda wants, notch 9. So now you picked up another nickname. You're notch 9, you're notch 11, you're G4.
I will grant him the extra notches.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Notch infinity.
Jeez. That hurt my ear.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
That was G4.
This is probably While we've learned a lot of information, this has been an informative podcast. This is probably also one of the worst we've ever done.
I think this has been one of the best we've ever done.
Yeah, well,
It's a little surreal.
You don't even know where you are right now, so it doesn't matter.
Hey, taste is subjective.
Exactly. So I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was. All right. Well, anyways, G4, at the appropriate moment, we need you to say happy rails to you. Now, the key to that is, and this is very important for you. This is something you
very important
for you. Yeah.
What's the over under on the success here?
There's no. The key to remember this is there's no interpretation of any kind. There's no singing. There's no dancing. We just need you to say with enthusiasm, with enthusiasm, we need you to say happy rails to you. Do you think you can handle that?
I'll do my very best, Lionel.
Okay. Well, G4, notch 11, John, notch 9. As we close the barn doors on another episode of A Modeler's Life and the sun slowly sets over the back 40, I guess there's nothing else left to do except for you to say...
Sorry, what line?
What?
That wasn't it.
Are you kidding?
PhD? What? Unbelievable.
That was interpretation.
Happy rails to you.
That was interpretation, you see.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was interpretation. You were trying to be funny. That was the one part. That's the one part in the show where we just need you to play along. But no, you couldn't do it.
No.
Nonconformist.
Nonconformist. Yeah, and the AML Nation has treated you so well over the years. And we just had one little simple thing we wanted you to do. So we're going to try again. We're going to do it again.
I'll try again better this time, Lionel.
All right. Well, G4, as we close the barn doors on another episode of A Modeler's Life, and the sun slowly sets over the back 40, I guess there's nothing else left to do except for you to say,
happy rails to you.
While in Busted Knuckle, guests of A Modeler's Life podcast stay at the Casa del Sol Motor Court and Inn, where late-night dancing at the Rumba Room is a magical event to be experienced.
It's another Lincoln Homer.
that might be like one of the best we've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You went from in the toilet to right up there.
Yeah, it was loud and clear.
It was well.
With his podcasting microphone and everything, right?
Yeah.
And
Perfectly
happy
positioned.
sounding.
Happy sounding, not troublemaking, just happy rails.
I'm happy.